We are back with more My Southern Home, and I'm here with Xela Andrews with Spaces in Bloom Design. And thanks for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
So your business is very unique because you do work in both Texas and here in Middle Tennessee.
I do it in other states too. I have projects in Colorado, in Utah, Oklahoma. So yeah, I'm kind of all over the place.
Well, I can see why, because this home that you have helped the clients on is absolutely stunning.
Oh, thank you so much. It's been a joy to work with them.
So tell me about the process when you start working with a client.
Sure. So usually they call, tell me kind of what the problem is that they're having. We have a consultation, kind of walk through what it is that they want to do, whether it be a remodel or a new build or just a room that they want to make work better for them. And then we kind of go through this process of designing and figuring out everything for them. It's kind of a 6-step process that we have, and then before you know it, got a whole beautiful home that you love.
Well, remodeling can be very challenging if you don't have an expert like yourself helping you along the way and making sure everything is done as it should be.
100%. So a lot of people worry about working with designers because they worry that they're going to take over, or they're not going to be what they want, and it will be more of what the designer wants. But my job is to make sure that I'm listening to what the homeowners want, the way they want the room to function, the way they function in the space, and then we take all of the things that they tell us, and then we put together something that is uniquely that person.
Well, you mentioned a good point of how they live in the space, because I feel like so many times homeowners don't take the time to think about that. They just think about what the color of the cabinets are, or what the floor is going to look like, or what the countertops are, not how they want to live in that space once it's done.
Totally. And so that is something that people don't think about with working with designers. They just think that we pick out paint colors and cabinets and countertops, but we really go through the process of their day, talk about how they live in this space, the ages of their kids, maybe they have grandkids. The way that the space works for them and what doesn't work for them is really what we take, and then we make it be something that really is productive for the family, and they realize that they love the space that they have. They don't even need a new house. They had the right house. They just need a little help with it.
So what do you think that some of the common concerns are during a remodel that most homeowners have?
Well, doing a remodel can be very overwhelming, especially as soon as you knock down those walls. People tend to freak out, which is understandable. It's very scary. But if you have the right people, the process, if you trust it, it will work all the way to the end. So when you were working with the designer, we can see the end from the beginning. And so if you trust what we're telling you and the way that we're going to do it, it will be beautiful. So I just think the biggest thing is to trust the process, trust your designer, and in the end, you'll love your space.
What a lot of people don't know is that every single selection in a room affects the other selection. So the paint may look a different color because of the cabinets, because of the flooring, because of the countertops. And that's something that, if you don't have the eye for it, can really scare homeowners when they don't trust the process.
Absolutely. So each phase of the design process and the construction is really, it keeps flowing. And so a lot of times I'll have a client, when the tile goes up on the wall, they're like, oh my gosh, I don't think I like this. And I'm like, wait for the grout. The grout will completely change the space. So there is a process to it, and if you just kind of hang on, everything will come together. And that's when we design a room, we are taking every little bit and putting it all together so that we know that it will all flow. And when you're seeing little things be done one at a time, it's not flowing because it's not done. So again, trust that process.
Well, and you do work all over the country. What are some of the trends that you're seeing homeowners gravitate to when it comes to transforming their space?
So, gray was the big thing several years ago. gray is on its way out. We are now seeing a lot more warmer colors. So we're still wanting everything to be light and bright and beautiful, but we want some warmth into it. It was getting a little bit too sterile. And so now we're bringing in the creams, the browns, the greens. You're even seeing some mauves coming in, and doing a lot of extra details on walls. Wallpaper is coming in a big way. So there's a lot of trends, and honestly, it's really from coast to coast, the way these things are. So you're not just kind of held to where you live. It's kind of all over now.
And Xela, you do a really good job too with your clients of making sure that they're mixing old and new and not going overboard on one new style.
Absolutely, because when you're spending all this money redoing your home, you don't want to do something that's trendy, something that's going to be out of style in 2 years, 3 years. So I really try to make it so that you're taking things that are classic, things that you're going to love for a long time, and things that are really important to you. So if you kind of look at those things, and maybe you take things from the past, maybe something from a family member and put that in, those are things that you will love, but they're also timeless and classic.
Well, it's really important to have both, because your home is really where the heart is. It's not a cliche. You want to look around your home and see things that you love and that bring you joy and safety.
Absolutely. Your home should be your place. It should reflect you. It should be the place that you want to escape from the world. And as a designer, I'm always honored that clients will call me and let me into their personal space, because I know how special it is, and I'm really grateful I get to do it.
Well, thank you so much for being on the show with us.
Thank you.
We'll be back with more My Southern Home in just a moment.